The word personality comes from the Latin root persona, meaning mask. In this way, personality is a psychosocial construct made up of attitudes, habits, preferences, and needs. The personality module of the Prism portrait is a description of how we present ourselves to others. Understanding what Prism reveals about personality begins by understanding how the data is depicted. The Prism algorithm calculates data points based on the Prism questionnaire, which are then plotted on the graph revealed on the page. Insights about personality are also summarized. The outer area of the graph shown as the light gray square contains traits that significantly contribute to the Prism personality type. The inner area of the graph shown as the dark gray square contains traits that don't significantly contribute to the Prism personality type. So, for example, here we have a dominant trait on the top right corner and another dominant trait on the top left corner. At the same time, we have two secondary traits, one on the lower left and one on the lower right. Given these data points, the shape of the trapezoid looks like this. Here we have a dominant trait on the lower left-hand side of the graph, and the rest of the points are secondary. Given these points, the shape of the trapezoid looks like this. Let's talk about what the data means. Those with more color toward the top of the graph tend to be big picture oriented. Big picture people tend to be creative and strategic. A strength is that they're more likely to see opportunities when others don't, and a blind spot is that they don't necessarily pay attention to the details. Those with more color toward the bottom of the graph tend to be more detail-oriented. A strength is that they're likely to be more analytical and have the ability to understand in-depth processes and details. A blind spot is that they may stall a project because they lack the details. Those that have more color toward the left of the graph tend to be more results-driven. These people tend to be directed and dutifully minded to focus on objectives. Now, a strength is that they tend to seek inquiry and resolution, whereas a blind spot is that they run the risk of being perceived as insensitive. Those that have more color toward the right side of the graph tend to prioritize relationship building. Those that are people-driven tend to be conversant and socially minded. They focus on relationships and are driven by interactions with others. A strength is that they tend to have the ability to organize people around a common purpose, whereas a blind spot is that they run the risk of being perceived as overly sensitive and prioritizing relationships over deliverables. Each Prism personality, of which there are 16, is based on a four-dimensional typology. Each personality is made up of 1, 2, or 3 of these dimensions. Let's take a look at each one. Powerful personalities tend to be the strongest personality types. They're assertive and decisive. They want to control, and they're not easily intimidated. They're energized by challenges, and they're willing to push through obstacles. They like to win and are ready to apply the pressure needed to get things done. The visionary is an example of a powerful personality. Versatile personalities are the most charismatic personality types. They tend to be persuasive and inspirational. They seek approval from others and are naturally magnetic and playful. They're energized by recognition, and they're attracted to group settings and discussions. The connector is an example of a versatile personality. Precision is the most analytical personality type. It depicts highly detailed and conscientious individuals. They tend to be contemplative in their analysis. They prefer standards. They're energized by structure. They trust rules and facts. They're committed to accuracy, and they're interested in order. The scientist is an example of a precise personality. Amiable is the steadiest personality type. They represent quiet power. They prefer consistency. They're patient, observant, energized by affirmation, averse to conflict, loyal with an interest in maintaining the status quo. The ally is an example of an amiable personality type. Personality under pressure refers to how we present ourselves to others in stressful situations. Now, it's important to note that a person's personality type could remain the same under pressure, and it could change while under pressure. Some personality traits may get picked up, and others may get lost. Here are a couple of examples. Someone who's people-driven could pick up power traits under pressure. A connector personality could show up as a catalyst under pressure. Similarly, someone who's highly precise could drop precision traits in stressful situations. So it's quite natural to see a scientist show up as an architect under pressure.